Mastercard stand with Rajamannar. Raja, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
So we're here to talk about the unveiling of the new Sonic brand, which is a musical identity for Mastercard. Before we dig into that, maybe you can tell us why brands need a musical identity.
Right. In today's environment, when a consumer recognizes a brand, he or she does it by looking at the logo of the brand. So which means there is a visual real estate that is available where a brand can put its logo, the consumer can see and recognize. Now, as consumers started relying more and more on their voice and using voice for interacting and engaging with brands, there is no visual real estate. So for example, you have got Internet of Things, or you have got wearable devices, or you have got smart speakers like Alexa and Google Home. The entire interaction is purely based on voice and voice commands, and there is no visual real estate. In those situations, how does a brand show up? Because the presence of the brand gives that element of trust, peace of mind, and motivation for the consumer. So we have to be present. So we started looking at this whole aspect and said, we absolutely need to have a voice presence or a sound presence. And the best form of sound is music. So we said, just like we have a physical visual real estate or a physical representation, visual representation of a brand by the two interlocking circles in red and yellow, can we not have a similar kind of a representation in the world of sound and in the world of music? So we came up with something which we believe is a cutting-edge strategy and a cutting-edge sonic architecture of any brand, and I feel very proud of what we have done in that space.
Okay, so you've just hinted at the new kinds of commerce that have brought about the need for this new musical identity. In reality, when will a consumer actually hear the new Sonic brand?
So the Sonic brand is just like any other physical visual brand, has to show up at every single touch point of the consumer. So the way we started is there is a basic DNA, which we call it the melody. So it's a tune for about 30 seconds, which is extremely simple, but not simplistic. It's very sophisticated. It's very neutral, so that it's supporting the brand and not taking over the brand. It's extremely likable and adaptable, which means whether you're in Dubai or in South Africa or in Delhi or in South America, wherever you are, you should feel that this melody is something that you can identify with. It resonates very well with you. So we have created these 30-second melodies, which will show in all our ads. They will show in our events like sponsorship events and so on. There would be the music on hold when you call a Mastercard office. We have ringtones with this melody and so on. So there's a whole bunch of applications. A small subsegment of these 30 seconds is what we call as our sonic signature or musical logo or mogo. So this is about 3 seconds long, and it is the signature, which is a subset. So when you hear the signature, you can really connect it to the whole melody. So that's what we will be using for ending all our ads with. And finally, a further subset of that sonic signature is what we call as our acceptance sound. So it's about 1.3 seconds. And this sound is what you will hear when your transaction goes through very successfully at any point of sale in physical or digital environment. So each time you transact with Mastercard, when the transaction goes through successfully, you will hear the sound. And that sound is also again closely related to the melody. So whether you're listening to the mogo or to the acceptance sound or to the melody, they keep building upon each other, and these are just 3 of the elements that we have started. And we already integrated, for example, this acceptance sound at Fred Siegel, which is one of the very big stores in Los Angeles, chains basically. And we have already integrated our acceptance sound at the point of sale, so now you can hear it. And the rollout has begun in Los Angeles, and we are going around the world. And very excited that this is something which will be the sound of Mastercard and will be heard the world over, and hopefully it will be very positive and impactful.
Well, I can confirm for Finextra viewers that this melody is in B flat major pentatonic, resolving to the relative minor of B flat
You're very
major,
good.
which I worked out myself. Can you tell us how you developed this melody? I believe you worked with some quite famous musicians on it.
Yes. So in order to develop this, as I said, there are too many criteria, right? In terms of adaptability, neutrality, likability, hummability, you should be able to hum, so that's when the memorability is the most, and so on. And that's not an easy task. So we kept coming with more and more melodies, but they were not really resonating. So we worked with multiple agencies. We worked with various music artists around the world. And we worked with composers. We worked with musicologists to make sure that this is certified original. And that has resulted in a number of melodies. Eventually we have selected this, and we feel very, very good about it. And what we have also done is to really give it a very local flavor. In each country, in each region where we are developing these melodies, we are hiring the local artists. We are working with the local artists, local musicians, to be able to come up with a version that's most authentic to that culture and to that country. And that's a journey that we are on.
How does the new musical identity connect to the new logo, which removes the name from Mastercard?
So basically, when you look at our brand, we approach it with what we call a multi-sensory branding approach. So from a visual representation, we have got a very simple logo, which is a red and yellow circle, very sophisticated, very elegant, very stylish and aspirational, and that's what we're using our visual logo. So we wanted to use music as the audio representation of our logo, which exactly has the same characteristics and same values, and that's what we're actually relying on a number of partners around the world to come up with the logo that we have. So these, we believe, will work in tandem, and this is something which would take root. Like, for example, if you look at our interlocking circles in red and yellow, they have been around for 50 years. But we made minor tweaks, but then made a huge positive difference, and that's what we are excited. Now, the Sonic brand has just been launched as of 10th of February. So it'll take a while for it to be recognized and uniquely associated with Mastercard. So it's a long haul. It's a long-standing commitment that we need to have, and we have that.
So Raja, can you tell us about the first time that consumers will hear the new Sonic brand in ads that I believe Carmina Cabello is supporting?
So we are looking more as videos as opposed to advertisements by themselves. So the first video we created was with Mike Shinoda, who is a co-founder of Lincoln, and he is one of the most innovative musicians around. So we worked with him to create an EDM version of our melody, and that we have already released to the social media as of now. We also partnered with Camila Cabello. Camila is one of the top stars that you have got. Her song Havana, I believe, is the most downloaded song ever in the history of music. So she's our brand ambassador, and she has been featured in our ad, the one which we have released around Grammy Awards this year. And at the end of that ad, we launched our logo, Mogo, as in the musical logo, and that's where it appears for the first time. So when the Camila Cabello ad ends, it ends on the logo of Mastercard with the Mogo playing in the background. So that has just gone live a few days back, and it'll be rolled over to many other countries.
So Raja, fascinating to hear about the future of digital commerce and how music is now part of that new universe. So thanks for joining us today. Thank you for watching.